My Omega nephew Ryan Clark ran away from his arranged marriage, so the family forced me to take his place. On the eve of the wedding, I overheard the groom Liam Harris mutter, "Who wants to marry a beta old man 8 years their senior?" We signed an agreement that we'd divorce once Ryan returned. 2 years later, when Ryan finally came home, I signed the papers, removed my wedding band, packed my bags and disappeared. Now he's tearing the city apart searching for me. Who wants to marry a beta old man 8 years their senior? My knuckles hovered inches from the oak door as the disgusted complaint drifted through. Another deeper voice admonished, "Your fiancé vanished. You'll marry Professor Ethan Clark whether you like it or not. That beta's refined. A university professor, his grace rivals any Omega. Show some respect later." My father and uncle fidgeted awkwardly beside me. Adjusting my glasses, I smiled faintly before rapping twice on the door. The Harris family men froze as I entered. "Mr. Harris, Liam," I greeted pleasantly, ignoring the tension. "It's been too long." Ethan." The elder Harris cleared his throat. "Professor Clark, this is my son Liam Harris. I trust you'll get along." My gaze drifted to my arranged husband. Liam Harris, 24, stood at 6 feet 3 inches in his pinstripe suit and black dress shirt that strained against his alpha physique. Chiseled jaw, stormy eyes, textbook S-tier alpha perfection. No wonder he resented this match. Unperturbed by his earlier insult, I extended my hand warmly. "Pleasure." His calloused palm met mine after momentary hesitation, our first contact. Days later, we stood before crowds exchanging vows in a lavish ceremony meant for Ryan. When my nephew had fled weeks earlier to chase true love, our families had scrambled to salvage the high-profile merger. As the only unmarried adult relative, I became the sacrificial lamb. That night, Liam shoved a contract at me in our bridal suite. "Let's be clear, you're not my type. My father says we'll annul this once Ryan's found. Until then, no pretending we're a real couple. Don't interfere with my life." Agreed. I signed without hesitation, having anticipated these terms. The document stipulated my silent exit with financial compensation once Ryan returned. Straightforward. Good. Liam stamped his fingerprint decisively. "You keep the copy." He strode out without glancing back at the marital bed. 2 years later, I stirred awake to prickling sensations on my lips and cheeks. Liam's annoyingly handsome face filled my vision as he nuzzled his stubble against my neck, his hand already slipping beneath my sleep shirt. "Get up," he murmured, kneading my waist. "Breakfast is ready." I swatted his wandering hand away and rolled over. 5 more minutes. The mattress dipped as Liam straddled me, his smirk practically audible. "Need some motivation to rise and shine?" His fingertips traced dangerous patterns along my hip bone. "Stop it," I groaned, burying my face in the pillow. After 3 straight nights of cataloging ancient pottery shards for the museum, even his relentless energy felt exhausting. "Just let me sleep. You promised me race tickets weeks ago." His lips found that sensitive spot behind my ear. "Now, or I'm taking drastic measures." I grabbed his wrist just as his fingers hooked into my waistband. All right, I'm moving." Experience taught me resisting would only lead to hours of tangled sheets and missed appointments. Liam nipped my earlobe, his breath hot against my skin. "You owe me tonight." Before I could protest, he hauled me into the bathroom where my toothbrush already sat prepped with toothpaste, mouthwash measured to the line he knew I preferred. "Hurry up," he called over his shoulder, already reheating breakfast. "Your avocado toast's getting cold." As I brushed my teeth, the bathroom mirror reflected 2 years of improbable domesticity. Our arranged marriage had begun with mutual disdain, me, a bookish archaeology professor, him, the playboy heir to Harris Automotive. Now we slow danced in kitchen light while washing dishes. The turning point came 18 months ago at his grandfather's 70th birthday in Harbor City. 3 whiskey sours triggered Liam's rut cycle. What began as another argument over canapes ended with shredded formalwear and 2 days trapped in a penthouse suite. When the haze lifted, he'd grinned like the cat who got the cream while I contemplated murder charges. "Accident," I'd insisted, voice still hoarse from screaming. "Never again." He'd laughed, already reaching for me. Why fight what works? Our reluctant détente became routine. As a beta, I'd never understood alpha appetites, but Liam's persistence wore me down. Surprisingly, the physical compatibility spilled into daily life, him learning to make congee after my chronic gastritis flare-ups, me tolerating his obsession with vintage race cars. We fell into rhythm like paired artifacts in a museum display. Last month, I'd walked in on him elbow deep in pottery restoration supplies. YouTube tutorial. He'd shrugged, carefully reattaching a Han Dynasty handle. Couldn't let you work weekends alone. Now the scent of freshly brewed coffee cut through my reminiscing. Through the steam, I watched Liam humming as he plated breakfast, sunlight gilding the tattoo peeking from his rolled sleeves. Somehow, against all odds, this infuriating man had become home. I love visiting museums, watching mystery movies, and doing pottery. Every morning after his jog, Liam Harris would come back and make breakfast before waking me up. Though we started as casual arrangements, our current dynamic barely differed from any married couple. Yet I never forgot our original agreement. I constantly reminded myself not to get emotionally invested. Losing physical boundaries meant little, but surrendering my heart was forbidden. After breakfast, Liam and I headed to the racetrack. He used to be obsessed with motorcycle racing, even founding his own racing team. Everything changed after that crash where he broke his leg. During his recovery at home, Liam lasted exactly 7 days before wrapping his arms around my waist pleading, "Baby, I'm going crazy here. I glared. Need my ass. Stay put. Just let me watch you ride me?" He bargained. Not happening. He disbanded the team after fully recovering 2 weeks later. Nowadays, when the itch returns, Liam drags me to watch races instead. As we settled into VIP seats, roaring bikes tore past the grandstand kicking up whirlwinds. Bored to tears, I scrolled through my phone while Liam kept our fingers interlocked, enthralled by the track action. My cousin's DM froze my blood. "Found Ryan Clark." I glanced sideways at Liam still fixated on the final lap. "Restroom," I announced, pulling my hand free. "I'll come. I know where it is." The crowd erupted as racers crossed the finish line. Hiding in a quiet corridor, I called my cousin. "Where's Ryan? That idiot got swindled out of everything he owned chasing his music dreams. Ended up singing at some backwater bar until our dads tracked him down. They're dragging him home today." My chest tightened. "Today? You better make that bastard pay." My cousin ranted. "Making a commitment phobe like you marry the Harris family's high-maintenance heir? Total bullshit." The stadium cheers drowned his voice. Ryan's return meant Liam and I would finally enact our pact. I prepared for this moment. So why did my heart feel like sinking concrete? Turning the corner, I froze at the sound of muffled sobs. I paused my steps and peeked out from behind the corner. A handsome alpha in racing gear stood facing a slender beta. The beta's shoulders shook as he hung his head, quietly weeping. I recognized them. The alpha was Zachary, a rising star in racing circles whose boyfriend happened to be a beta. Last time when Liam and I came to watch a race, they'd specifically come over to greet us, saying they wanted to follow our example of overcoming obstacles to build a future together. Zachary sounded exasperated. "My family never approved of us dating. Dad told you he'd consider letting me marry you if you could get pregnant, but 3 years later there's still no sign. What else can I do?" The beta's voice cracked. "You said you loved me for who I am. That children didn't matter. That was before circumstances changed." Not wanting to eavesdrop, I turned to leave when a delicate-looking Omega came trotting over. "Honey," he called out, grabbing Zachary's arm before snapping at the beta. "Why are you still bothering Zachary? Can't you take a hint? Need me to spell it out?" The beta stared blankly. "Zachary? Who?" The Omega lifted his chin haughtily. "I'm Zachary's fiancé. Our families have already met. Know your place. An infertile beta thinking of marrying an alpha? You'd make his bloodline die out." The beta staggered back as if struck. "Zachary, is this true?" Zachary barely nodded. The beta stumbled away in humiliation while Zachary watched guiltily but made no move to follow. The Omega clung to Zachary's arm, threatening him against rekindling old flames until Zachary placated him with promises. Long after they left, I remained frozen. This scene mirrored my own situation with Liam and Ryan. To outsiders, Alpha-beta relationships were doomed, betas seen as genetic dead ends. I smiled bitterly and took off my glasses, massaging the bridge of my nose. After steadying my breathing, I returned to the VIP section where Liam excitedly announced his supported team had won. That's great, I smiled. Liam wrapped an arm around me. Want to visit the museum later? There's a new exhibit this weekend. Not today. I'm tired. Lately, even minor exhaustion overwhelmed me. Age spares no one. Then let's grab dinner at your favorite private kitchen. The intimate restaurant had a serene atmosphere, run by a graceful Omega owner. When he came to serve us, I noticed his slightly rounded belly. You should be resting, cautioned. He blushed. This is my third pregnancy. I'm used to it. Enjoy your meal. Watching him leave, I grew pensive. Liam placed boiled fish slices in my bowl. What's wrong? He asked when I didn't eat. I looked at him slowly. Liam was 26, in the prime of his life. As the eldest son of the Harris family, they'd naturally want an heir. I deliberately asked, Omegas are all highly fertile, right? Getting pregnant comes easily for them? Liam propped his chin on his hand, giving me a suggestive wink. What? Jealous? I'll put in extra effort tonight then. I chuckled humorlessly. Save your energy. I'm just a beta. Who says betas can't conceive? Do it right and it'll happen. He added with a smirk. Though honestly, if you were Omega, we'd have 2 kids in the nursery by now with how often we go at it. I raised an eyebrow, self-deprecation coating my words. Pity I'm not. While betas weren't completely infertile, the odds were abysmal and any offspring would likely be beta too. Like Zachary and his partner had learned, miracles don't grace everyone. Oblivious to my thoughts, Liam nudged my plate. Stop overthinking. Eat before it gets cold and fishy. I picked at my food, resolve crystallizing. All beautiful dreams must end. When night fell, Liam claimed me with desperate hunger. I responded with uncharacteristic fervor, one last memory to cherish. The next morning, Liam left for a golf outing with business partners. I declined joining, having scheduled movers during his absence. Within 90 minutes, my entire life packed into cardboard boxes. The safe yielded our contract. Liam's bold signature and crimson thumbprint burned away my lingering sentiment. He'd signed without hesitation back then. Why should I waver now? My pen scratched decisively across paper, sealing our dissolution. I left the document on his desk, platinum wedding band atop the pages. He'd return by afternoon. Would he rage? Feel loss? I shook my head at my own delusions. Liam had always preferred sweet, fertile Omegas. He'd only settled for this aging beta because I was convenient, easy prey within reach. Why humiliate myself further? I'd foolishly hoped his passion held genuine affection. But reality remained. I was older, infertile, a marriage of convenience. Now that Ryan had returned, the rightful lead in this farce, I'd stopped blocking their reunion. Needing distance, I emailed my university for accumulated sabbatical leave. At 3 p.m., Liam's text arrived. Babe, dinner at home or out? The endearment stung. Soon, Ryan would claim that title. I replied coolly, dine with your friends. No need to rush back. Why? Don't want you lonely. He persisted. I silenced my phone, swapping SIM cards. A new number notified my family of extended travels before I drove toward remote, unprotected villages, equal parts academic pursuit and soul searching. I'd been driving all day and stopped at a motel to rest. That evening, my father called. He demanded immediately, didn't you tell Liam about your trip? What's wrong with Liam? I countered. He's been searching everywhere for you. Frantic. What's going on between you two? Did you fight? I massaged my temples. Ryan is back. Have you heard? Rumors say he returned. Wait, what does that have to do with you and Liam? Tell Liam that with Ryan back, it's time we honor our agreement. He'll understand. What agreement? Call him yourself and Dad. I interrupted wearily. I drove all day, too exhausted to talk. I hung up and powered off my phone. The next morning, I contacted Owen, a beta who'd been my junior in college. Now running his own freelance studio, Owen instantly volunteered to join my research trip to the ancient village. We met in the town square where Owen had thoughtfully hired a local guide. Instead of the elderly villager I'd expected, our guide turned out to be a strikingly handsome young alpha. "Ethan," he beamed, shaking my hand vigorously. "Just call me Alex." "Pleasure," I replied politely. Owen explained, "Alex here knows these hills better than anyone." As we began the rugged hike, Alex kept glancing back to steady me over treacherous terrain. "Getting special treatment, Ethan?" Owen teased when Alex offered me his arm for the 5th time. The guide's tan cheeks flushed as he reached for Owen, who laughed. "Relax. I'm used to roughing it. Just keep our distinguished scholar from breaking his neck." The village unfolded like a time capsule, weathered wooden houses with intricate carvings, stone paths polished by centuries of footsteps. Curious locals clustered around until Alex conversed with them in their melodic dialect. Soon we were being invited into homes to photograph ancestral altars and handwoven textiles. My phone lay silent in my bag, mercifully freed from service range. By afternoon, when we returned to town, my empty stomach rebelled against the aromatic local feast. "Not to your taste, Ethan?" Alex asked anxiously as I pushed roasted pheasant around my plate. "Traveler's stomach," I lied, bile rising in my throat despite only sipping broth. The buzzing phone startled me. A coastal city area code flashed family? I answered warily. "Hello? Where the hell have you been? Your phone's been going straight to voicemail." Liam's voice crackled with barely contained fury through the receiver. I stepped aside to take the call. "Oh, a bad signal. What's up? I should be asking you. What's this sudden vacation nonsense? If you wanted to travel, you should have told me. I could have taken time off." His words tumbled out like machine gun fire. I wondered if he'd forgotten our arrangement. Keeping my tone professional, I reminded him, "Liam, my nephew Ryan is back. Per our agreement, this marriage ends now. My lawyer's already filing the paperwork. We'll finalize the divorce when I return." Dead air stretched for 3 heartbeats before his roar made me jerk the phone away from my ear. "You're divorcing me? You're actually fucking divorcing me? Explain yourself right now." Rubbing my assaulted eardrum, I waited out his tantrum. When his breathing grew ragged from shouting, I continued calmly, "You drafted the prenup. Liam, you signed first. We agreed the moment Ryan returned. We'd part ways. Don't tell me you've developed selective amnesia? But I never thought." His voice shriveled to a wounded sputter. "The compensation clause remains valid. Of course. Have your accountant wire the funds by week's end." I moved to hang up. "Wait." His tone shifted abruptly. "Honey sweet now. Baby, did I do something wrong? Is this about the Bali trip I canceled? We can rebook." "Stop." My patience snapped. "There's no one else. We're simply honoring our contract. And don't call me baby. Ryan's the only family I need now." Owen chose that moment to bound over, sunlight glinting off his artfully tousled hair. "Ethan, for tomorrow's hike, should we?" He froze mid-stride when he saw my phone. "Too late." Liam's growl turned murderous. "Who's that? Is there a man with you?" "My college junior." I caught myself oversharing and stiffened. "Not that it concerns you, Ethan." He hadn't used my full name since our courthouse wedding. "If you're cheating, I swear to God." I terminated the call with violent precision. When my screen lit up with his 5th callback, I silenced my phone entirely. The afternoon's village tour became a survival challenge. My untouched lunch left me lightheaded, each step along the cobblestones sending nausea rippling through me. I bit my tongue through the discomfort, not wanting Owen's group to fuss. By sundown, my legs shook like overcooked noodles. I collapsed into bed without undressing, dead to the world until thunderous pounding shattered my coma-like sleep. Blinking against harsh sunlight, I fumbled for my phone. 10:07 a.m. "Shit. Ethan. Open up. Are you hurt?" Owen's panicked shouts accompanied another round of door rattling. "Coming." My bare feet hit cold tiles as I stood, and the room tilted violently. I clutched the nightstand, my reflection in the mirror showing chalk-white skin and pupils blown wide with vertigo. Low blood sugar? I wondered to myself. After finally catching my breath, I put on my glasses and opened the door. "I'm sorry." My apology to Owen died on my lips when I spotted Liam glowering behind him. My heart sank. Holy hell. What's he doing here? Liam looked disheveled with bloodshot eyes and stubble shadowing his jaw, like he'd pulled multiple all-nighters. I sucked in air through my teeth. But before I could speak, Liam shoved past Owen and charged at me. He forced me backward into the room, slamming the door shut. The lock clicked automatically. Senior, Owen called through the door. I already explained to your husband we're just friends. Calm him down. Inside the room, tense silence stretched. Liam stared at me like a predator cornering prey. My initial confidence wavered under that intense gaze. Avoiding eye contact, I moved to the side table to pour water. What brings you here? Liam? Come home with me. His words came through gritted teeth. I sipped my water before setting the glass down carefully. I made myself clear during our call yesterday. Liam closed the distance in 2 strides, spinning me around by the shoulders. That damned contract means nothing. It's from 2 years ago. When I tried shaking free, his grip tightened. You're a businessman, I said bitterly. Honor the agreement. To hell with contracts. He growled. You're not leaving me. Once my wife. Always my wife. His presence here proved he cared. But that wasn't enough. Nothing's forever. If you can break a 2-year promise, what's to stop you changing your mind later? I won't. His eyes burned with conviction. I've never loved anyone else. This is forever. Liam, I'm 34. My voice remained steady. I've seen enough to know marriages survive on decency, not passion. You think I lack decency? He looked stricken. Not what I said. I broke free from his grasp. I'm a beta with fertility issues. Even if you don't marry Ryan now, there'll always be omegas. Our marriage was your family's stopgap solution. They never intended for me to make you heirless. Stop this. His voice cracked. I don't care about heirs. I only want you. The memory of Zachary at the racing club flashed through my mind. Another man who'd made similar promises before reality crushed him. People change. Let's end this cleanly before we grow to resent each other. So you're determined? His fists clenched. Just following through with your original. Mid-sentence, Liam hoisted me over his shoulder. Dizzy, I pounded his back. Put me down. He easily restrained me with one arm while heading for the door. Since you won't come quietly, I'll carry you back, Liam declared authoritatively before opening the door. Liam ignored Owen's astonished expression and strode forward. Owen stuttered fearfully. Senior. I pleaded with him. Owen, help me. Owen hurried to intercept Liam. Mr. Harris, calm down. Let's talk this through. Liam tightened his grip on me, his voice brooking no argument. This is family business. Outsiders should stay out of it. He shouldered past Owen, who stood frozen. My glasses clattered to the floor as I thrashed against his hold. Let me go. You can't do this. A dark blur intercepted us at the stairwell. The resounding crack of fist meeting jaw made me gasp. Liam staggered, instinctively releasing me to clutch his face. Before I could steady myself, he yanked me behind his back like a human shield. Alex? I choked out as the men grappled. The wiry tour guide's knuckles split against Liam's cheekbone. Owen's frantic shouts of stop, both of you, went unheeded. 2 alphas in full combat mode proved unstoppable. Hotel staff swarmed the hallway within minutes, prying apart the snarling men. I clung to Liam's waist while Owen physically blocked Alex. He's our tour guide, I hissed when Liam hauled me against his chest, his glare promising violence. Another junior? He sneered at Alex's heaving form. The crowd dispersed after 20 mortifying minutes of apologies. Back in our room, I dabbed iodine on Liam's split lip. His hands slid under my thighs, yanking me onto his lap. Behave, I warned. Cotton swab poised. Liam's teeth grazed my pulse point. This works better, he murmured, hips rolling upward. My indignant shove only made him chuckle darkly. The bastard actually laughed when I recoiled from his obvious arousal. Really? Now? After getting your ass kicked? His grin turned wolfish. Adrenaline does wonders. My wife looks stunning even when she's mad at me. He reached to tousle my bangs. I swatted his hand away. Stop calling me that. I will. Wife. 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 You are my wife. He defiantly chanted the word repeatedly. I dared not provoke him further. lest he go berserk and carry me off again. I chose silence. After applying the ointment, Liam still forced me onto his lap, burying his face against my chest with restless nuzzling. Wife, don't abandon me. I can't live without you. His classic playbook, intimidate first to rattle me, then switch to vulnerable pleading. Carrot and stick until I surrendered. This was how he'd always controlled me. Not this time. I changed the subject. Have you seen Ryan? Liam lifted his head, resentment overflowing in his eyes. Why mention him? Why would I care? Ryan's exceptionally beautiful. You might prefer his type. My words were crushed by his furious kiss, all punishing teeth and possessive suction, his palm cradling my skull to prevent escape. Only when my lips turned swollen and numb from lack of oxygen did he release me. Forehead touching mine, he rasped unevenly, "Never say that again. You're my only wife. Forever. His beauty means nothing to me." Dazed yet persistent, I murmured, "Only omegas can give you strong heirs." He flipped me onto the bedsheets, looming over me as he ripped open his shirt, revealing carved muscles. The cuts on Liam's face heightened his feral intensity, that dominant alpha stare melting my resistance. "Don't," I pleaded weakly. "Your mouth keeps offending me," he growled. "So I'll silence it properly." MMPH. Conversation ended there. The day dissolved into hazy oblivion. Next morning, Liam stubbornly insisted on joining my archaeological expedition, clinging like human glue. Reluctantly, I informed Owen. "Owen, I'm sorry, Mr. Harris insists on coming." Owen glanced nervously at Liam behind me, forcing a smile. "No problem. Extra hands help." When Alex joined us later, the two alphas immediately locked into tense posturing. Even without scent perception, I felt the thickening rivalry. I whispered to Liam, "Behave or I leave you behind." Instead of replying, he suddenly kissed me full on the mouth before our companions. Owen and Alex gaped as I sprang away, flushed with humiliation. "Ha! You two are disgustingly perfect," Owen joked awkwardly. Liam smirked with obnoxious pride, making me wish for invisibility. Our destination today, more remote than yesterday's village, reportedly abandoned. Within minutes of hiking, dizziness and breathlessness overwhelmed me again. Before Liam arrived, I'd always gritted my teeth through the discomfort, brushing off Owen's concerned inquiries. But today, when Liam noticed my pallor and asked what was wrong, I caved immediately. "Dizzy, gonna puke." Without hesitation, he guided me to a shaded tree, fetched water, and fanned me with his hat. Having someone I trusted nearby made me abandon all pretense of toughness. Not wanting to delay the group, I told Owen guiltily, "Owen, go ahead with Alex. I'll catch up after resting." They'd barely left when Liam yanked me onto his lap. "You're ghost white. Let's head back." I shot him a look. "Whose fault is that? You kept me up all night." He grinned shamelessly. 3 days without you had to make up for lost time. Can your brain think about anything else? Only you." Liam pressed my palm against his pounding chest, voice turning gravelly. "I'm crazy about you. Fucking obsessed. Still doubt me?" Heat flooded my cheeks as I pulled away. "Cut the crap. If I weren't so accommodating in bed, would an alpha like you even glance at some 38-year-old beta? Accommodating?" His arms tightened. "Baby, I wanted you since that first board meeting. You in that stupid gray sweater lecturing about profit margins. Took 2 years to get you alone in Jiangxing." His lips found my earlobe. "Faked my rut cycle. Knew you'd cave if I played pathetic." Rage spiked. I twisted his ear. "You scheming little..." "Ow. Worth it." He laughed, undeterred. "No scent. But Christ, that mouth. Those hips." His hand slid lower. "You'd ruin any alpha." I shoved him half-heartedly. "We're done. Alphas and betas never." "Bullshit." Liam gripped my chin. "Marry me. I'll sign over Harris Corp shares tomorrow." "Cheat on you? I'll die penniless. You can't just..." The ground shuddered. Rocks clattered around us as the mountainside erupted in a thunderous roar. "Hold on." Liam slung me over his shoulder like a sack of rice, sprinting as the landslide roared behind us. Dust choked my lungs until his body suddenly shielded me during a crushing impact. Silence. Drip. Something warm splattered my cheek. My fingers came away crimson in the darkness. I snapped my eyes open. Liam hovered above me, rocks and mud pressing down on his back as he strained to maintain a protective space with his trembling arms. Blood streamed down Liam's face as he squeezed his eyes shut in agony, his entire body shaking from exertion. Through gritted teeth, he rasped, "Get out, now." I twisted onto my stomach, crawling through debris until I emerged from the collapsed structure. As I turned to rescue Liam, the remaining structure collapsed with a thunderous roar. "Liam!" My scream tore through the air. Frantically digging through rubble with bare hands, I heard distant shouts from Owen and Alex. "Ethan! Mr. Harris! Mr. Clark!" I howled through tears. "He's trapped underneath. Hurry!" They sprinted over, joining the desperate excavation. My fingertips shredded against sharp stones, but I felt nothing. Liam couldn't die. He couldn't. The mantra pounded through my skull. When we finally exposed Liam's torso, his stillness terrified me. We dragged him onto nearby grass. His ashen face showed no signs of consciousness. Alex pressed an ear to Liam's chest and paled. Cardiac arrest. The world tilted. Owen frantically dialed emergency services, pacing with his phone raised. I collapsed beside Liam's motionless form. If he died here, no. Breathe. Focus. Muscle memory from first aid training took over. Interlocking my hands, I positioned them mid-sternum and began compressions. Liam's body jolted with each thrust. After clearing his airway of debris, I sealed my mouth over his for rescue breaths. 2 breaths. 30 compressions. Repeat. My arms burned like molten lead, but I pushed through. 3 endless minutes later, Liam convulsed with wet coughs. Alex whooped as Owen shouted, "He's breathing." Relief flooded my veins. The world spun. Thud. Darkness. I awoke 5 hours later in a hospital bed, for dripping into my arm. Liam sat vigil beside me, bandages wrapping his forehead. Our fingers intertwined as I whispered hoarsely, "You all right?" "I'm fine. I had a full checkup. Just a scratch on my head. Nothing serious." Liam tenderly touched my forehead. Even after being a natural alpha, he'd recovered his strength so quickly. I couldn't help feeling envious, though this entire ordeal happened because of me. He should have been comfortably sitting in his office right now. Liam murmured, "Rest properly and stop running around." Seriously, causing trouble while carrying our child. His words snapped me from my daze. "What child?" I gaped at him. His other hand settled on my abdomen. Brows furrowed. "Our baby. The doctor confirmed it 5 weeks along. You've been running around with our child inside you? The doctor said we're lucky the kid's resilient, but you need to be more careful from now on." This sounded too surreal. "Are you serious? I'm pregnant? At my age? As a beta? This couldn't be real." They saw the gestational sac on the ultrasound. "Think I joke about this?" Liam looked unbearably smug. "Did you think I'm some pushover?" Those nights in bed weren't for nothing. While he preened, my mind reeled. The recent loss of appetite, constant drowsiness, dizziness, all pregnancy symptoms? I blamed aging for my declining health. Liam kissed my knuckles, feigning sternness. "Try running off while carrying my child again. I'll chase you to the ends of the earth." My eyes burned. The image of Liam lying unconscious still haunted me. I'd nearly lost him forever. Now not only was he safe, but heaven had granted this miracle. With such fortune raining down, how could I ask for more? Tears spilled over as I gripped his hand. I won't run. Never again. Even without the baby, I'd never leave Liam. When he'd risked his life for me during the crisis, all doubts about his feelings vanished. Even if passion fades and life becomes ordinary, I'll face it with courage.